Hi guys, in this week's goalkeeping training video and podcast, I'm going to be answering an amazing question that a goalkeeper called Zane, 15 years of age, and he's based out in Colorado Springs, which is in the state of Colorado in the United States, if you don't know. So Zane, thanks for emailing such a fantastic question. And also as well, I actually run a lot of events in Colorado, Zane, so I actually might see it out there one time, and I've actually spent a lot of time in Colorado Springs. I mostly coach in Denver, which is about 45 minutes away from Colorado Springs, but yeah, it's an amazing part of the world. Actually, I stayed in one of the best hotels in my life there in Colorado Springs. So yeah, I know. You're living in an amazing part of the world there, Zane. So thanks very much for obviously emailing me the question. And what Zane asked was, he was saying, Ray, I'm basically thin. He's got a small frame. He's basically thin as a goalkeeper, as most 15-year-olds are, by the way, saying, okay, so you will naturally grow, so don't worry if you're thin now as a goalkeeper, because as you grow older you'll naturally get bigger and stronger anyway. But basically what he was saying is he's a bit thin at the moment. Should he take supplements to basically to bulk up? And before I answer that question, Zane, and to everyone else, it's funny really, and this is from my experience, goalkeepers, when they first start off as a goalkeeper, most goalkeepers, obviously they're thin, they start off young and they're naturally thin, and as they grow older, they obviously bulk up. So in the start of the careers, a lot of goalkeepers want to bulk up, like I did. And as you get to the mid-career, as you get older and older, you start putting weight on, and then you want to bulk down as well. So so this question will be like a double-barreled sort of question. So I'm going to give advice for keepers that want to bulk up, obviously, and as for goalkeepers that want to bulk down. And I'm going to keep this really basic, okay, guys? Go and get specialist advice. Seriously, you've got to be very careful the advice that you get. Don't be getting advice from someone on the street, someone that is not properly qualified. In fact, I actually remember, I'm being serious here, I was actually 21 years of age at the time. And I wanted to put weight on because I was only 13 stone. I'm actually now 19 stone, so I look back and think, dear me, how was I 13 stone? But when I was 20 years of age, I was 13 stone, or 13 and a half stone to be correct. And the advice I was given, and wasn't just me, there was other players in my team, and we were playing professionally, all my life. The advice that we were given by one of the coaches was to eat Mars bars. Obviously, for you guys in the United States, I'm sure, or around the world, Mars bar is basically a chocolate bar, and this was a so-called professional coach giving professional players advice, and we were told to eat Mars bars. Now, bearing in mind that was nearly 30 years ago, and obviously, I'm sure professional coaches wouldn't give that type of poor advice now. But again, it just goes to show you, you could be in a professional environment, speaking to what you think is a professional coach, and the advice that they give you is not the best advice, because obviously eating Mars bars to put weight, to bulk up, is not a good thing to do, So, and that, honestly, that's on my life. That was the advice we were given many years ago. And again, the coach that gave us the advice, he was an ex-professional player, so he would have been probably in his early 50s, so he would have played professionally, DMA, 40-50 years ago. So again, he was probably still stuck in the mindset of the advice that he was given 40-50 years ago, and that's what he was giving ourselves advice 30 years ago, if that makes sense. And again, I'm sure, obviously, at professional clubs now, they're not going to give such horrendous advice, but the point I'm trying to make is, you think you could be getting advice from someone, obviously who knows what they're talking about. Even in professional environments, someone could give you the wrong advice. So it's super important, whether you want to bulk up or bulk down, you get specialist advice, someone who's completely qualified to do. So don't go onto YouTube or TikTok or any of the social media where all the cranks are giving you all this advice. And because what a lot of people will do on social media, guys, okay, they'll give you advice on certain foods, certain supplements, and then they'll put an affiliate link on their page. So they're giving you advice to make a sale. They're not giving you advice, obviously, for you personally. And also, everyone's individual now as well, so you've got to be so careful, and that's why it's so important that you go to a specialist, saying, someone who knows what they're doing, someone who's qualified. Because, for example, you might have an allergy, and someone could give you really good advice and say, hey, you need to take this supplement, and it could be a good supplement. But if you've got a certain allergy and that allergy classes that supplement it might not be the best for you, Zane, if that makes sense as well, yeah. So even though it could be a good supplement, if you've got a certain allergy, you know, I say, because there's that many allergies in this day and age now, isn't there? Obviously, you lose count how many allergies there is out there now. But if you've got a certain allergy, it might sort of, you know, it might not go well with the supplement that you take. It might cause complications. So that's why it's super important, guys, okay, yeah, whether you want to bulk up, bulk down, lose weight, put on weight, etc., please go to a specialist, okay? Yeah, don't get the advice from someone down the pub or someone in your team who says, oh, I think this is what you should do. Certainly don't get anything advice from anyone on social media unless they are, you know, proven specialists and experts in what they do, because they're not giving you advice for your health. They're giving you advice to make a sale. So you've got to understand that as well. So I'm going to keep this really, really brief, okay? Yeah, you know, anything like that, you know, not just for Zane, for any goalkeeper or any parent or any goalkeeping coach who's, you know, as I say, you know, looking to put weight on, take weight off, etc. Please, please, please. I know it sounds obvious what I'm saying here, because people go, oh, right, come on, you know, that's an obvious answer, to go to a specialist and an expert. But you believe, honestly, the majority of people won't do that. They won't go to an expert. They won't pay the £50 or $50 to go and get specialist advice, you know, expert advice. They'd rather go into Google and search it, or they'll listen to one of their friends, or they'll listen to a coach that might actually not know the answer. They might just tell you what they think. Okay, so I know it sounds obvious. You think, oh, come on, mate, it is obvious. You know, that's what, you know, most people will go to specialists. I promise you, most people won't, okay? Most people won't. They'll get advice from the family, friends, you know, an associate, off YouTube, off Google, etc. And that's the wrong place to go. So please just invest, you know, it'll only cost you 40, 50, £50, $50, whatever it is. Go and get anything like that, anything with your body, anything that you're putting into your body. Again, I know that I'm harping on about this, but I just want to drill this into you guys, especially young goalkeepers. I just want to make sure anything that you're putting into your body, please make sure that you're getting specialist, expert advice from someone who's super, super qualified and knows what they're talking about. Okay, so I hope that helps, Zane. Hope that helps, guys. And I'll see you in the next podcast next week. Take care.